Okay, I guess we'll just wait for a few people to join. Let's
Hi,
see.
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad this got off without a hitch so far because I've been struggling with the Instagram lives. So,
Well, if I mean this is it. So if we're on, we're on. At the end you just hang up.
yes.
So it's very easy. How do
Yay.
you pronounce your name just so I get it right?
Beth Wilkes Feraco. Feraco.
Okay, I got it right. All right, let's let a few people join. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started if you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome everybody. This is the Cake for Dinner podcast live. Please follow both of us if you're interested in this content or it strikes you. So today's guest is Beth Wilkes Feraco, nutrition and strength coach, nearly 500,000 followers, and zero tolerance for bullshit. She
Yeah.
says what most people are thinking, cuts through the diet culture noise, and keeps health simple and realistic and honest. Beth, welcome to Cake for Dinner Live.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, so excited we could do this. I mean, honestly, your presence on social media and just the way you talk and you're so frank, and I've just sort of recently been getting into this and I speak the same language, so I just thought it would
Yay.
be good for us to jump on. So, I have a few questions I'll ask, I think
Yeah.
just to prompt the conversation, and then if anybody has questions that they want to ask to either of us, probably more Beth, we're open to it. So your no bullshit voice clearly resonates. You have 500,000 followers. Why do you think people are so drawn to that, especially now?
Oh, I think maybe because people are done with all the fake ass bullshit. I mean, there's a lot out there.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
there really is. And honestly, like, I'm not here to bullshit you. Like, I'm not, I'm so sick of seeing people like sell so many things. Like, everything is a link in my bio, comment this.
Hmm.
And for what I do, it's like, it's not that hard. It's hard, but it's not that hard. And the way people just overcomplicate
Hmm.
nutrition and just simple things is kind of out of control. And it
And then
makes,
sell it, right? It's
yeah, it's like, okay, now how can we market this?
Yeah, my dad is actually a doctor in exercise science, health physiology. And over the years, when I'd come to him with like a new idea, like intermittent
Hmm.
fasting or CrossFit, he's like, this is not a fucking new idea.
Yeah.
Like, this shit's
Yeah.
been around for a long time. Somebody just
Yeah.
packaged it nicely and sold it to you, basically. So I,
Yeah.
I agree with that. And that's kind of was the premise to this podcast is like, I didn't want to participate in social media in some weird way. I thought, let me
Hmm.
just interview women telling the truth. Like, and somehow
Yeah.
it's really been a thing. So you talk a lot about being fucking 50. What actually so what actually matters most for staying healthy and strong at this age? Like if we're
Mm.
just cutting to the chase, what do
Yeah.
you really think women need to know? Or not
I
just
think
women.
I think that women need to know that strength training really is the key to longevity and changing your body,
Hmm.
and helping menopause and things like that. So I think the number one thing that women are missing, I believe, is muscle.
Yeah.
um Muscle is the key, and a lot of people don't want to believe that, like, oh, I don't want to go and get bulky. It's like, it's really hard to get bulky. It's
Yeah.
really hard. I've
You're
been trying to
like,
get
you're not at risk.
you're not at risk for getting bulky, trust,
Yeah.
and what does that even mean to you? Like, when people say that, like, what are you like looking at and comparing, like, your
Mhm.
bulkiness, like a big bodybuilder, that's what they do for a living, like their whole entire life is like to get bulky. So yeah,
And then
strength
what do you
training,
think?
guys.
Like, so like I do think now, especially people are starting to like buy into that that concept. But like, how much strength training does somebody have to do? Like, if you're not somebody who
Oh
grew up
yeah.
with fitness,
Yeah.
it is hard, like in terms of
Yeah.
consistency and really understanding what true weights look like
Hmm.
how much, how often.
I think first, like anywhere from 2 to 4 days. Like I think
Yeah.
people need to look at their schedule and ask themselves what they can be consistent with,
Sure.
right? Like I can be like, yeah, 4 days is optimal, but is it optimal for you? As someone with a 40 hours a week job, you have 4 kids, you got to find something that you can do consistently. And so I think a minimum of 2 days is
Hmm.
plenty for the really busy person. And then I think, anywhere from 3 to 4 is ideal, but 2 could be great.
What do you do?
I do four
Okay.
days a week. Yeah.
And it's strength training that you do.
Strength training. I have a coach who programs workouts focused on progressive overload, which is really just getting stronger over time. And in order
Hmm.
to do that, you need to be repetitive at the same movements. And I
Right.
think this is where, back in the day, everyone was following like, what is it, Beachbody or, all these
Hmm.
different programs where the movements were fast. You have a different video every single day. But progressive overload happens when you're doing like I said, the same movement. So you need to do that for weeks on end, right? So I
Right.
have the same thing that I do for 4 to 6 weeks at a time. And so I
Okay.
can see when I track my weights and me moving up in weights, I could see myself getting stronger. So when you're doing those like hits, like workouts that are just, you're doing all these different exercises at one time, you can only lift a specific amount of weight with that.
Right.
So how are you going to like progressively overload on, like, let's say you're doing bicep curls into a lunge? You're using the same weight, and when in fact you should be able to go up,
Right.
doing the same. Like, so
And
that, I think that's
I
where.
like the progressive overload too, because you can also sort of you can see your progress,
Yes, yeah,
which
yeah.
is exciting and
Hmm.
leads to some body confidence, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm 51 and constantly hearing eat more protein. It's fucking
Mm,
exhausting, frankly.
yeah.
What are some easy, realistic ways to get enough without overthinking it? Because I think that's
Mm,
also part of it. Like we're busy. I'm busy. I'm raising a
yeah.
family. I'm working
Yeah.
now. I'm doing this. Like I feel like I'm supposed to have like a chicken breast in my purse. Like it's just too much. Like what are some like easy,
Yeah.
simple?
I think protein, it has like gone a little too far, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
protein's in everything, right? I think fiber is also just as important. I think people miss
Yeah.
the boat on the fiber, right? Like,
Hmm.
but protein, I try to, you should be eating whole food protein sources. So I try to help people stay away from the bars and the shakes and all that stuff, but also there's the convenience factor to that as well, right? Um, I always say base all your meals off a protein source and kind of build it from there. Like, okay, breakfast, what's going to be your protein source? Mine might be eggs or yogurt. And then what can I build off that? Okay, let's see, maybe I can have some oats on the side or some
Hmm.
toast, and things like that. And then, like lunch, okay, I can have some grilled chicken. What can I add to that? Some rice, beans. I'm a huge fan of throw shit in a bowl
Yeah.
and you're done, right? Like three
You should write a
ingredients.
book called Throw Shit in a Bowl.
I
That's
should.
like the
I should.
best.
Like my throw shit in a bowl meals. It's like, try not to get all crazy with the recipes because I think a lot of people,
Yes.
they just want to have a recipe. It's like, you don't just throw shit in a bowl. You're going to
Right.
like confuse yourself by like, oh, I need a recipe for this, a recipe for that. I always have like grab and go yogurts in my fridge.
Right.
I pre-make a lot of my protein, so it's already in the fridge, ready to go. A lot of people don't plan, and planning
Hmm.
is really key. But
Yeah.
planning also doesn't mean you have to be in the kitchen for 20 hours on a weekend, you
Right.
know?
Yes.
Um, so
So it's more
that's it.
prep. It's more just having a little bit of
Yeah.
prep. Do
Yeah.
you
Like,
intermittent fast?
no, no.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like that is kind of a big deal for people.
I think that it's just a planned, like, I don't like intermittent fasting. I think a lot of people, it's especially for older women, you're
Hmm.
not, you're more apt to binge at night, right? Because you're like, I'm just not going to eat like in the morning, or you're not getting
Right.
properly fueled for your workouts.
Right.
Um, it could be good if, you are, let's say, someone that works weird hours and, that's just kind of part of your schedule. But
Hmm.
honestly, it's just unnecessary to me. It's a planned starvation mode, like, or starvation section of your life. Let's wake up and I'm hungry, but I'm not going to eat. I'm just
Right,
gonna
right.
wait. I'm gonna wait till 12.
So
Like
you're
that's
more listening to your body, sort of like
yeah. I'm like eat
balance.
breakfast. Yeah.
Right.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So, what are your honest, not that you weren't going to be honest, but what are your honest thoughts on GLP-1s in the health conversation right now?
That's a good question. I am a fan of GLP-1s for the person that has been diagnosed with, let's say, obesity or diabetes and has gone through their healthcare provider and is being monitored properly, like getting your DEXA scans. They're getting regular blood work. They're meeting with a healthcare professional on a regular basis, right? Because this is a
Hmm.
lifetime medication. And I think people don't think about that. Like, this is a
Hmm.
lifetime med. This is not something that you're like go off and on and go off and on. It's not a kickstart your weight loss journey drug. It's a lifetime med. What I don't like is the monetization that I'm seeing from this, from people that aren't even in the healthcare industry, right? They're like maybe someone like me or someone that is just like a Pilates girly, champagne girly, like this is their title on their Instagram page. And they are selling pharmaceuticals, also known GLP-1s, with discount codes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is a huge thing now. And I believe that right now something's happening with the FDA in which, these companies are not going to be able to do this anymore. Um, Sooner than later, I believe. But when you have like just regular old people monetizing off other people's vulnerabilities, I have a problem with that. Especially
Yeah.
saying that everybody can do it. We should, it got rid of my inflammation when you're like 110 pounds and you have an 8 pack.
Mhm.
That's what I'm seeing, and that's yucky because that's not about health to me. That's about money and profit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What about the food noise, like in as it relates to addiction? So I've seen a few articles and heard a lot of
Hmm.
people. We're in the substance use space, so
Yeah.
I own a national behavioral health company, and we have heard a lot about that recently. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like,
I think if it's something like, because it's being studied right now, it's not something that people are
correct.
actually able to be like, yes, you struggle with addiction. Here's your GLP-1. It's still being studied. So when I get all the details and the
Hmm.
stats on that, and it's actually being used in that manner, then,
Yes.
then I'd be like, okay, like maybe, but as of right now, it's doing that with the people that actually need it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, so
I
if you're
agree.
someone that's obese and you also struggle with addiction, you're going to probably see that help. Right.
Right.
As well with like cardiovascular health, like a lot of things will improve and be
Hmm.
different.
Sure.
You know,
It
yeah.
almost, my concern would be it almost robs you a little bit of the like real good shit you get from sobriety. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And also,
It's like the
yeah.
shortcut
Yeah.
might not be the exciting, shiny thing that
Right.
it looks like.
Because with everything, right, you have to do the work. Even
Mhm.
if you are obese with this, taking this drug, you have to work on your healthy habits and behaviors, right?
Sure.
It's,
Hmm.
it's, and that goes with that. It's like not like a quick fix.
Yes.
So I think the same would be for your addiction because you're still going to have the mindset, right? You still have to work on your mindset because it's also this up here disease,
Hmm.
right? They
Yeah.
say like it's a brain
Yeah.
disease, um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things coming out about it, but I also think if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And
Yeah.
I think we just need to be everyone's like wants to jump on that train, but I'm waiting back. I'm watching.
Yeah. Probably a good move. Um,
Yeah.
So many people struggle with consistency. Do you think lowering the bar and actually hitting the goal works better than aiming high and burning out? I guess there's a bunch in between, but
Yeah, I think people struggle with consistency because they try to do too much at one time,
right. Hmm.
right? They try to do the 5 day a week workouts when they should start with two,
Right,
like we
right.
were discussing earlier. Or let's cut all my calories so it's hard to stick to them.
Or and
And I
then you
won't be
do it for a
consistent there.
period and then you fall off and then you feel like shit about yourself. Right.
Right, right. Yeah. So I think the key to being consistent is not trying to do it all.
hmm hmm I interviewed a woman recently. She wrote a book called When Life Happens, and she was
Hmm.
saying her thoughts were around making New Year's resolutions and that they're largely ineffective because people make these like big goals and they're not really
Hmm.
like thoughtful. So she believes
Hmm.
in like small, specific goals. And I think to your
Yeah.
point, making sure it works with your life, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to go 7 days a week. So probably not a good
Right.
strategy to like choose that out of the gate.
Yeah.
Um, and my last question is, where does sobriety for you fit into your definition of real health?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, well, first off, alcohol is a poison.
Yeah,
I
let's just
mean,
start with that.
people hate when I say that. It's like, well,
Yeah,
I'm not just because I'm sober. I'm not trying to be one of those people that you should be sober too. It's just alcohol is a poison. Like as soon as you ingest
right.
it, your body tries to reject it. So as someone in the space of health, why would I be like, yes, drink your alcohol? It's super healthy for you. I'm also not going to tell you not to. But if you're consistently drinking and not making any progress, we need to discuss,
Yeah.
like is what's more important to you? Is it you drinking alcohol or reaching your goals? Is alcohol more important than your health? Because right now, like you're suffering, you're miserable, and but the alcohol is taking precedence.
Yeah,
And I think
it's kind of wild that you could like, say be gluten free or be dairy free, but if you say be
mm,
alcohol free, somehow it's like,
what are you saying?
yeah, yes.
um,
It,
I think more people struggle with it than they realize as
hmm
well. I think someone might be like, "Well, I just drink on occasion. I'm a moderate drinker," but then they can't stop for even 2 weeks.
hmm
Because we like to give clients like, okay, like let's see how you feel alcohol free for 2 weeks. Let's try 14 days. Just to see
hmm
like you're not making any progress now. Let's see, if you just, let's do like a challenge, a 2 week challenge. And if they're
hmm
like, no, I can't do 2 weeks, and it's like, okay, well, why can't you just do 14 days from no alcohol? Then you have
Right.
to like examine that part.
Sure. Yeah, and I like what you say too. Especially if you're in the health space, it'd be like a weird thing to advocate for, you know?
Right,
Uh,
right.
yeah. I guess
Yeah.
I'll open it up. Does anybody in the live have any questions? Let's see. Here we go. Um,
Hi guys.
we have some
Wait.
comments. I think anyone that needs a GLP-1 should be automatically connected with the therapist. Probably a
Yeah.
very good idea.
Yeah.
Um, Why is it lifetime? I'm going to start soon. I'm obese. I think they're talking about the GLP-1s. Like, why is it a lifetime medication?
Well, because obesity is that's a any disease is lifetime. So why would you start a medication for obesity, like diabetes, right? Are you going to stop taking your GLP-1 because your diabetes is gone? It's for life, right? And so why would you do that for an obese medication that's for disease management? That's like me saying, I'm going to stop my cholesterol meds. I'm going to stop taking my blood pressure meds. Those are basically lifetime maintenance drugs for those
Right.
things that are wrong. And so when you discuss this from your healthcare provider, they should be discussing this with you. And I think this is where the disconnect is. I'm not sure where you're getting this medication from, and that should be something that this is discussed. Right? Like I should this and this is the problem. Like I shouldn't be having to tell you this because I'm not in the healthcare.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
a healthcare provider, but when you're starting to go, let's say off telehealth medicine and you're getting it from these companies that, they're about profit. Okay. And that's what I'm seeing here. And so you
Right.
should know that that is a lifetime medication. And so you have to understand that.
Yeah,
And
you
people aren't,
shouldn't be learning that on a podcast.
no,
Uh,
no.
so we've got Hi from Ontario. I love Beth. You definitely have some super fans out there, Beth.
Hey
Um,
guys.
yeah, so let's see if any questions specifically. Let's see. People do want to talk more about food addiction.
Oh, that's a food addiction. That's a tough one because it's behavioral. Okay. We cannot be physically addicted to something that we need biologically as a human being.
Mm,
So when you're saying you're addicted to food, like what does that even mean? Like, are you, um, and that's part of like the mindset behavior part
Mm-hmm.
of like, I am addicted. Like, we also calling ourselves these things like, I am this, I am that. Like, even when I used to go to AA, and I don't know if you've gone to AA or you go to AA
I
anymore,
do.
or but I felt as if the repetitiveness of saying that my name is Beth, I'm an alcoholic,
Mm-hmm.
would be like, okay, I'm Beth, I'm a recovering alcoholic, because mindset matters. What you say to yourself matters. And I think the same thing goes with like food.
Mm-hmm.
And anything like, I'm not a morning person. I am this, I am that. It's like we can change our identity at any time. And a lot of it's up here. I can go on about it, but
Yeah.
emotional eater. Yeah.
Let's see. I love Beth also. I quit drinking 2.5 years ago and lost 25 pounds. Life is so much better, alcohol free. Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations. We're going to wrap it up here in a minute. This is a great conversation, but I'm confused. If I'm combining GLP-1s with a nutritionist and a trainer, it just worries me that it's a lifetime. The entire program is costing me a lot of money.
Okay. So, Marley, so you have a trainer and a nutritionist. Okay. Where's the doctor in that? So where are you getting the GLP-1 from? This is what's
Mhm.
important here. Okay. Because if you are under the care of your doctor, that's great that you have a nutritionist and trainer, because that goes along with it. But your doctor, whoever prescribed this, should be telling you this, right? It
Mhm.
is a lifetime medication, but also at the same time, you need to learn how to eat and lift weights, etc. Um, so what I want to ask you is like, getting off this, which a GLP-1 helps manage your, let's say, your hunger and all that stuff, which will all return when you're off of it,
I think
right? And
that's why
that,
you're saying it's a lifetime. It's if you
yeah,
want the
not
lifetime results.
yes. And so the food noise, all
Right.
that stuff is going to come back. The gastric emptying, like the slow gastric emptying, will no longer be there. So your hunger is going to come back. You got the food noise, you got the hunger. And that's all part of what the GLP-1 helps, right? And
Mhm.
that's why people struggle with obesity, because they tried to do it the regular way and it didn't work over and over again. Like, no one stays 500 to 600 pounds throughout their lifetime, right? Without it being a disease.
Right. I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
she's saying where she gets it from, and she's going to call them to talk about a program to eventually get off. Yeah, I think what we're saying is just definitely explore that stuff. Get
yeah,
real medical advice, and I think that's sort of the takeaway from all of that, because there's a
yeah,
lot of people saying a lot of shit, and you really do want to make sure you're getting, you know, good medical advice. If any of
yeah.
this resonated with you, I really recommend following Beth. I love your voice and your honesty. I think it's really refreshing, especially in the space today. And if you guys want to hear more about Cake for Dinner, or see, I also have an in-person podcast. You can follow me at Keisha W. Scott, or Cake for Dinner Pod. So, anybody else have any questions? Otherwise, Cake for Dinner will be live again next Wednesday. Love to see you guys here. Anything from you, Beth?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks, guys, for asking these questions. Important stuff. I'm glad you're going to speak to someone from row.com. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Great turnout. See you guys next Wednesday at noon.
Bye.
Bye.